This segment is brought to you by Gin Gators. We sink our teeth into service.
Welcome to Bayou Time. I'm Jacob DeGate, and now joining us via Zoom, we have Commander Lonnie Cavalier of the Assumption Parish Sheriff's Office. Commander, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Jacob, for having us.
All right, it's my understanding you got a few arrests to announce to the public. Can you tell us what's going on?
Yes, we have 3 arrests. The first one being a David Santiago Arvizu, 27 of 710 Bruley Road, Labradorville, Louisiana, was arrested on multiple felony crimes involving extortion related to pornography of young female victims. Arvizu was previously arrested on January 6, 2025 on similar charges and now faces an additional 229 counts of crimes related to child pornography, computer-aided sex crimes, indecent behavior with juveniles, and extortion. David Santiago Arvizu was being held without bond on the earlier charges. In November of 2024, detectives received a referral from the Hernando County Sheriff's Office in Florida related to criminal activity. Detectives initiated an investigation and determined that the suspect was using social media to obtain inappropriate content of the female. Suspect then utilized the obtained illegal material to extort the victims into continuing to provide additional inappropriate content as well as live chats. As a result of the ongoing investigation, victims from the states of Florida, Washington, Texas, Arizona, and Virginia were identified. On January 6, 2025, detectives have executed a search warrant upon the home of David Santiago Arvizu and recovered evidence connecting Arvizu to the crime. Following Arvizu's arrest, detectives furthered their investigation and led up to Tuesday's charges. Arvizu was booked on Tuesday on new charges as follows: pornography involving juveniles, 138 counts; possession of pornography involving juveniles, 77 counts; computer-aided solicitation for sexual purposes, 5 counts; indecent behavior with juveniles, 5 counts; and extortion, 4 counts. David Santiago Arvizu was ordered held without bond on the new charges as well and remains incarcerated in the Assumption Parish Detention Facility. On second arrest, DeAndre McBride, 21 of 109 Q Street, Pankerville, and is the 5th suspect arrested in conjunction with an April 7, 2025 aggravated burglary which occurred on Virginia Street south of Belrose. On the aforementioned date, deputies responded to a suspicious vehicle trespassing complaint in the 6,000 block of Highway 308 near Pankerville. That complaint led to a report of an aggravated burglary involving the theft of firearms on Virginia Street. Detectives determined that the victim was set up to have several firearms stolen by multiple suspects. Through investigation, detectives learned that one of the previously arrested suspects arranged a meeting of personal nature with the victim while updating the other suspects throughout the incident, leading up to the burglary of the same vehicle being occupied by the victim and the initial suspect. At some point, the other 4 suspects approached the vehicle and completed the prearranged burglary. The suspects fled the scene with the stolen firearms. DeAndre McBride was identified as the 5th suspect, and warrants were issued for his arrest. DeAndre McBride turned himself into the Assumption Parish Detention Center and was booked on charges of aggravated burglary and theft of firearms. DeAndre McBride remains incarcerated pending a bond hearing. And the final arrest we have today is Milo Harry Wheeler, 63 of 46837 8th Avenue, Bloomingdale, Michigan, was arrested on felony drug violations arising from a suspicious vehicle complaint near Grand Bayou on Saturday evening. Deputies were dispatched to the complaint at a local retail business establishment and located the vehicle, which was the subject of the complaint. The vehicle was occupied by a male subject now identified as Milo Harry Wheeler. Deputies engaged Wheeler in an officer violator interview, and upon completion of that interview, believed that additional investigation was warranted. A canine conducted an open-air sniff of the suspect vehicle and seized a quantity of controlled dangerous substances. A search of the suspect vehicle resulted in the seizure of a significant quantity of suspected marijuana. Malu Harry Wheeler was arrested and moved into the Assumption Parish Detention Center on charges of possession of marijuana with intent to distribute. Malu Harry Wheeler remains incarcerated with bond set at $10,000.
All right. Well, thank you, Commander, for updating on those, especially involving the first two criminal defendants. Seems some serious crimes were committed, and they also took place where it took a lot of investigative resources or cooperation with agencies in different locations to be able to get the job done and make the arrest.
Yes, Vizu obviously is a serial child predator. This had been going on for some time, and as reflected, the judges are holding him without bond, and the DA's office is actively involved in this case now that the sheriff's office has completed, and they're moving swiftly to get this guy to court, and let's start the process moving towards trying this case.
Well, it's some good news in an unfortunate situation, and thank you very much for coming on and letting us know.
Thanks, Jason, for having us.
All right. Stay tuned for more right here on HTV.
This segment was brought to you by Terrebonne Ford, built Ford tough.